Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Fore Dad's Podcast. Sorry that we weren't able to get a podcast in last week, but we had a lot of work, family issues that came on up and just weren't able to line things up with our day-to-day lives. So this will be our second to last podcast of the new year, or of the 2023, should I say. And we do have a special surprise for everybody for the next podcast. Wait until the end. We'll let you get you guys a little teaser on like what that's going to be for next podcast. We're really looking forward to that one. But Julio and I, we were able to get another round in on Sunday, an 18-hole match play. It was fun. Had some good shots. Had some really bad shots. More often by me. But it'll be really entertaining. I'm putting together the video. It should be dropping on Christmas Day. And hopefully you guys enjoy that kind of content. We're hoping the next time that he's able to come out, we can get a little foursome going. We have had a third on the last two rounds that we played together. Corey Graham, who probably listens to this podcast, he's been desperately trying to get into our videos. And we're going to add him and one of my buddies, Kyle, who also watches some of these podcasts and watches some of our clips and things like that on YouTube. And as of right now, this is what the plan is. I really want to get some clicks. I really want to get some views. Playing the longest, golf course in California, seeing if we can shoot 10 under and a 4-man scramble with Julio's distance, potentially Kyle's distance, and Corey's putter. Julio's got a good putter too. Then Kyle is a stick, dude. He's like a +1, +2. So he's a solid golfer. And with me throwing in a couple chips from the side if needed.
I gotta say, the last two times that we've played, you've absolutely annihilated your driver. You hit that thing so good every time. It's kind of annoying. I'm like, how are you doing that? Like, first,
Really?
like, oh no, dude, you're hitting the ball solid. Me and Corey were talking about it, and I was just like, you hear the sound? He's catching the center of the face on that thing so well, and then your ball is just like this straight little piss missile with either a small draw or a little cut. But there was a few drives that I absolutely annihilated, and you were right there with me. So, you're not short by any means either.
Well, I appreciate the compliment, but it's crazy thinking that for me, I felt like I could not control my driver at all that day. And
No,
you're
you're
watching.
hitting
No,
it
I'm saying,
well.
you know how it is, just like where someone's watching you from the outside, and you're like,
Yeah,
oh wow, like he's probably so confident. He looks so like just goes up there and hits and no issues. And then the other person's like, dude, I'm so out of it today. Like I'm not feeling it. Just like in baseball, you're pitching. Your
yeah.
best games are usually when you don't have your best stuff because you got to focus more. You can't just go loosey goosey. You got to focus on mechanics. You got to focus on release points, and then where to pinpoint it. And when you have your good stuff, it's kind of harder to play better, in my opinion, because you're not really thinking and focusing as much because like, oh, okay, I can just do it because I've just been, feeling it.
Yeah,
But I had a
yeah,
good time, man. I had a good time. I had
yeah.
a good round.
I did too.
Who
Didn't
played
didn't throw
36
any
holes, man?
clubs.
Dude, there was like two. Since I'm going over the video and stuff like that, I saw like 1 or 2 times where you like literally went with the club throw and you hold it and you held, and I was like, oh, you gotta let that thing go, man. You gotta whip it. You gotta let that thing go. Man. But Julio had a tee time at 7 a.m., drives at 4 a.m. to get here at around 7-ish or maybe a little bit before then, plays 18 holes. So he's 18 holes ahead of me before getting into this. And surprisingly, I'm not going to give too much away, but I hold my own in the front 9, and from him having 18 holes before, it probably was really cold in the beginning. It was a fun round. We had some good shots. We had some really cool putts. We had a few drone shots that I don't even think are going to be able to make the cut, honestly, because they are. We didn't. Well, I'm not even going to say too much. It didn't make the cut. That's all I'll say. It didn't make the cut because of where they were. Julio knows exactly what I mean by that. But we had some really cool drone shots, and I'm really looking forward to using that in the future to get it out, get some shots, because it just looks really cool. And
It does.
Honestly, dude, it's really kind of pissing me off. Hole 15, when I lost my ball, I still don't know where that thing went. I have it on the shot tracer. I have it on the drone. I can't pick up the ball from the drone. And I'm like, I'm literally clicking play and just watching the water to find like little areas. Okay, is there going to be a drop ball there? Nope. Okay, restart it. Is there a drop ball? Is there any movement in the water here? Nope. Okay, it must have just trickled in because I smashed
It
it.
must have. But I even
And
walked by the water and I didn't see anything in there. I
well,
mean,
it goes
just,
steep. No, doesn't it go pretty steep out there?
yeah, it
Like,
goes really steep. But I mean,
yeah.
still with that speed because it's so muddy. So like in the the holes that Corey and I played before, I hit my driver and I ended up turning it over and
Mm.
I got like right to the edge. And so I was like, oh dude, like that was so close to going in. You hit yours really well. And before it got up in the sky, I mean, it was down the middle of the fairway. I just don't know which way it went, left or right.
According to the shot tracer, it went straight to the left. But again, even with the sun there, it blocked it, so I
Yeah.
wasn't able to see exactly where it ended up. But it's just annoying
Yeah.
because I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna see where it is," and I can't.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's there somewhere.
Yeah. That
Um,
sun was brutal.
oh, dude, towards the end that was nuts. But yeah, so like I said, we're gonna try and get another one in within the next month. I think about it within the next month, yeah. But expect
Yeah.
our 18-hole match play to drop on Christmas Day, Monday morning. Don't have a time yet, probably 8, 9 a.m. But in the world of golf news, we literally hit on it right before it happened, which was kind of cool. And it was probably one of our most popular videos on YouTube that was podcast related. Jon
Yeah.
Rahm leaving for
Going
LIV
to live. Yep.
for like $400-500 million, some insane price.
Yeah. I think
But
it
I thought it
was
was really
6.
cool because we literally like the day before we had a podcast like Jon Rahm to live. We'll see. And then like next morning, I think I was in. That's right. It was 2 weeks ago when I was in Sacramento for work,
Mm-hmm.
and I get all my notifications. I turn them. I think I have them off from like 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. So like my phone doesn't
Yeah.
like go off unless it's something emergency. And I was like, oh crap, Jon Rahm. And then like we started picking up some views because like we were like talking about it. I was like, nice. But I mean, like,
Yeah.
what'd you think about that? Obviously, a lot of people said it was due. It was gonna happen. It's just a matter of time.
Honestly, I don't think he could have handled it in a more professional way with his answer, which was like, who knows what's going to happen in 2 to 3 years, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I fully expect to be back on the PGA by that
Right?
point, but
That was something.
but here's my thing: the merger is not complete.
Right.
Now that Liv has another, you know,
Massive,
top, yeah, massive
dude.
top world ranked player. Like, what's stopping them from basically now going back to Jay Monahan and saying like, no, we're pulling out of this. We're going to actually have a duel. We're going to have a live versus PGA Ryder Cup edition, Masters edition, Players
Mm-hmm.
FedEx Cup of our own. Because again, like we've talked about this several times, but Live is changing golf. Believe it or not, the
Yep.
guaranteed money, the
Mm-hmm.
higher end sponsors, right? The only thing that they're missing, honestly, is the networks because
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
ESPN owns the PGA and
Mm-hmm.
ESPN/Disney own all of the networks that they're able to stream it on. That's the
Yep.
only thing they're missing, which in my opinion, being that it's a Saudi ran organization, dude, Saudi Arabians and Indian people are not by any means dumb.
Oh no.
They can literally make one of the best streaming experiences hands down, and
Mhm.
that would
And
take
it
them.
honestly, Bollywood. You've heard of Bollywood, right? In India,
Yeah,
that's bigger
yeah,
than Hollywood because of how many
yeah,
people live in India. There's over 1 billion people in India.
yeah.
So like it's insane. Like yeah, they're not dumb at all, and
No,
they're. I mean,
I don't mean to say that they're dumb.
no,
Like,
yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like it just,
let's rewind
yeah.
that. But like, there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot that they can do. And
Of course, of course.
if I'm the PGA, like I would be a little scared because one, their their burn cash that they have is endless, being that it's all oil money.
Mm-hmm.
Second, like there's more global sponsors that are jumping in compared to just US based ads, right?
Right.
And on
Yep.
top of
Yep.
that, being that it is like a global organization, they're not trying. Okay, I'm gonna skip that part, but they have control of what it is that they want to push to the audience, right? Like obviously
Mm-hmm.
we understand what the PGA is trying to do and some of the newer up and coming types of, you know, I don't want to say it, but you get where I'm going with this with certain
Right.
things that go on. Yeah.
I mean, you bring up a good point in the sense that, like, if they were to pull out, like, the main reason that Monahan apparently did this merger that still isn't
It's
really
for the
complete
money.
is because, like, hey, like, not just the money, but the fact that they would just be bled out dry, is what he was saying with the PGA Tour. They didn't have enough to compete with Live. So
No.
if they pull out, like Monahan and PJ, in a way, it sounds like they're screwed because they're going back to that where they're going to bleed them dry again, and they're not on the same page. They're not working together, and they don't have Jon Rahm anymore, which is a huge draw because he's top player in the world. The
Mhm.
last like 3-4 years, winning 2 majors, right? Just the U.S.
Yep.
Open and
Yep.
Masters,
Mhm.
and the only hope they have is the younger players from the PGA Tour that are coming up that can become something and take advantage of the spots. But even then,
It's
Jon
not
Rahm is so big
guaranteed.
right now. Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely not guaranteed. It's such a risk, and it
Mhm.
sucks in a way because I mean, yeah, we talk a lot. Like if you watch our podcast, in my opinion, it definitely sounds like we're like Team Live over like PGA Tour, and I'm for the players. I'm for the players getting their money that they deserve, that they're owed for putting together the tournaments because without players there is no tournaments, right? And like the competition and
Right.
things like that. I'm all for the players, whatever sport it is. Football, get your guaranteed money, especially with that being so violent. Baseball, guaranteed money, get your money because you're so limited on earning before the next best thing comes out, and then you're out on the end, and you're just out of luck, and you get like,
One.
yeah, one bad
No, no.
swing, one bad thing,
I was.
like.
Yeah. I was just gonna say 1,000%. I mean, we saw it with Tiger,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
An accident can happen at any point, even if maybe you are on Quaaludes or painkillers, whatever it may be. Like
Hmm.
we can't control that. I
Yeah.
mean, life has a weird way of doing that to some people, but again, like the fact that you have a security for your family, for yourself, right? And
Hmm.
now the
Hmm.
game, it's one less thing you have to worry about. Like
Yep.
that's kind of that's the one thing. And I don't think that this move could have come at a better time, being that the USGA rules out the rollback rule, which is just the dumbest thing ever, in my opinion. I mean, Bubba Watson said it best, in my opinion, when he spoke about it, saying like, what is the number one advertisement for any PGA event? Golf balls, right? Like, why are we going to go and advertise golf balls to people that, quite honestly, if they want to play with the players you're playing, they can just go get it. But now you're talking about a rollback to where it's 5% difference. He's like, why not make a course 5% longer? Why not move us back 5% deeper in off the tee boxes, and we can still play the ball? He goes, and what's dumb is that even if you do, or even when the rollback rule does come into place, Bryson DeChambeau is still going to be one of the longest hitters on any course
Hmm.
because that's 5% less that he'll hit it. So if he's hitting at 540, now he's
Hmm.
going to be hitting it, or I'm sorry, not 540, 340,
Whoa.
340. Yeah, 340. Like now he's going to roll it back to what, 325, and whoever
Right.
was
And
close
he's
behind him
still
is
gonna
not.
be.
Yeah, he's still going to be the
Yep.
longest guy. So it doesn't make a difference. And the podcast that he was on where he was speaking about that got cut short, but he kind of mentioned like, why not change up the lineup, right? Which people have been saying for years. Change up the lineup except for the majors, right? So if the majors are always going to, obviously Augusta will always be at Augusta, right? Or the
Yep.
Masters will always be at Augusta, right? But like find different courses. Find
Yeah.
different courses
There are
instead of playing the
so many
same stuff.
nice
There's
courses
so
out
many
there.
courses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you imagine,
Hmm.
like, again, like, could you imagine seeing them playing on, on
Bring him a
Pain
Dragonfly,
Valley?
bro. Bring him a
Could you imagine
Dragonfly
seeing them
because
at,
this is, yeah, Pain Valley.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say like Pain Valley, or I
That'd
think
be
we even
dope.
talked about this last time, or even like Wolf Creek.
Dude,
Like
Wolf Creek would be epic. That'd be so
it would
sick. You've
be,
only seen it in
yeah,
video games, like you've never seen it in
literally,
person.
yeah,
But I agree, and I think you also touched on a little bit how like golf balls are the biggest draw, but every single year you work in the golf industry, I worked in the golf industry. You did for a lot longer than I. But the main draw is like there are two things in my opinion that are like the biggest advertising that like hook people in. Easier to hit golf clubs and farther hit, whether it's a ball or whether it's a club. It's like, oh, this is the farthest one ever. This is the farthest one ever golf ball. This is the farthest ever, golf club. This is the easiest to hit golf club with the same distance, great distance or whatever. And then same thing with golf ball spin or whatever. And so do you think that eventually, like, because like if they have a rollback, what are they going to be able to do? Just get more spin on the ball? Like, what could you do if you have such a? Because I'm sure there's
I
something
don't
right now
I
that they're
don't I
hitting a
don't
limit,
even
but like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
I don't even know what goes into the rollback. Like what I don't understand what they're gonna do because for the last for the last 10 years, all the golf clubs have been doing is trying to maximize distance. Every year they guarantee an extra
Exactly.
5 yards, right?
Yeah.
And then golf balls now, like again, let's just talk about Titleist, right? Titleist is number one golf ball in the world.
Hmm.
And even with them, they've always said more spin off your wedges, uh, less spin off your driver, depending on which one you're getting, if it's the Pro V1X, Pro V1, or even
Hmm.
the left dash, which I think the
Hmm.
left dash is the best thing to ever hit the ball market
They
since
released
the
it to the public.
well, in my opinion, since TaylorMade came out with their first versions of the TP5 X's, like
Okay. Okay.
when those first hit, I was like, wow, I've never seen a ball jump off the face like that. I've never been able to have, that type of action on my wedges. But now here comes the left dash at still a Pro V1, and I mean, your your flight, is solid. The number of spin is like so consistent based off of how well you're striking the ball.
Hmm.
And I mean, it just feels good. Like it
Right.
feels really good. And so now it's like you're talking about all of that progress that they've been making through the last 10 years to where now they're like, well, I guess we have to dial back like the
Right.
compression point. We have to dial back the coat, the coating that we're using on the ball. Like
It's like
we
going
have
from
to
the
be
BESR to like the BV core bats. Remember that
exactly.
rollback for
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
baseball?
The
Yeah.
Beezers. Yeah.
Yep.
It's like the bees. I mean, but like
You
that's the
could
thing. Like,
kill
what are you gonna
somebody.
do? Make the dimples bigger? I don't
Right?
know.
Yeah.
Like
Right. It'll be interesting. It'll be really
it
interesting to
will.
see how they are, especially if you're paying top dollar, like $60 a box for a ball that goes like 5 to 10% less.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna
Yeah.
be that's gonna be tough, man. I'm gonna be going to the Kirkland golf balls real soon if that's the case. Like, what's the point?
S-
Or
Speaking
vice.
of,
Or vice.
yeah. Speaking of,
Dude,
I mean,
yes.
what do you did you? So
I'm very interested in the set, but
I think I may go. I think I may go get some at that price point. I might
you're
just
gonna
go
have to
get
wait for a
two.
few weeks. But yeah, you're gonna have to wait for a few weeks. But yeah, because they're already
Yeah.
sold out everywhere and going for double, triple the price
No.
online.
Yeah. I mean, there's over here in Santa Rosa and the one in Runner Park, there's still a few sets. The drivers are all gone. The drivers are all gone, but there's still a few sets of irons that they have.
Who
And
is
they're
gonna
and
be
they're
the what? What?
yeah,
What?
go
What?
ahead. No,
No,
go
go
for it.
for it. Go for it. Go for it.
I
No,
was
no.
gonna say, and I saw that there's a left-handed set there too.
Really? Well, that's the thing I was going to
Yeah.
say. Like, what does Kirkland have against lefties, man? Like, none of their stuff really has been lefties. They have only right handed irons, right handed driver. And I don't know about the wedges or putter, but like, dang, I feel bad for
If
lefties. I'm
you
not even a
if you
lefty.
go if you go online, you can get it. They have
Really?
them. Yeah,
Interesting.
it's only online.
But
They won't have them in store.
who do you think's going to be the first Kirkland sponsored player that just takes these puppies out and just throws darts? I want to see like Grant Horvat or Fat Perez just
Nah.
with a Kirkland set and just
If anything, well, you got to think Grant Horvath's with TaylorMade. You got to
well, yeah,
think
right.
Fat Perez and the boys
Callaway.
are with Callaway. Same with
I guess
Goodwin.
we're open for business, huh? We're open for
Well,
business.
think of this. Think of this, right? Like who's a new up and coming player either on PGA or YouTube, right? Who isn't tied to
Yeah.
any clubs, right? I mean, think about it. You were just talking about them. They don't have any ties. They promote one club, but they're one set of clubs, but they don't actually play them all the time.
Who?
The Bryan Bros.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. What do they promote? What do they
Or
promote?
they
The
promote
the Callaways?
the no, they promote the Tehama, or Takema irons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I
Interesting.
think I think, but again, like, and then you obviously know Rick Shields is going to be the first person to get a set and
Yeah, okay.
try him
And he's
out.
gonna do a whole
So
video, and yeah,
yeah,
him
he's
and
going to
Peter
do a
Finch.
whole
Yeah,
review. Yeah, so
dude. Yeah, they look beautiful though. That like
they do.
honestly, like if someone were to gift me a set of those, I 100% would play those just to try them
Yep.
out, hit them. They look good. The wedges are nice. The putter looks very nice with like the super stroke grip. It's just the only thing is though they don't have woods, right? No woods, just the driver,
No.
irons,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah. You know
wedges,
what?
right? So
So the driver looks like the
was the PXG?
no. It
No,
looks like the Callaway Razor Optic. Let
is
me
that
see if
new
I
or
can.
old?
That's
It's
an
got to be
old
older, huh?
one. Yeah, let me see if I
Really?
can find it. Let me see if I can find it.
Just
Hang
find
on.
out they Kirkland like 2 years ago bought out like all the remaining brand new ones on eBay and just like removed a few decals and was like, "All right, we got them for $100. You just want to sell them for 200? Yeah, people buy them. Yeah."
Yeah.
uh,
No, that's not it. Hang on. I remember it's like Optic something. I gotta hang on. Optic Force. That's what it looks like.
Callaway
It's the
Optic Force. I'm
Callaway
gonna look it
Optic
up.
Force driver. Here, let me see if I can share my screen. Hang on. This thing's taking forever.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks exactly like it, dude. Holy
It looks
crap.
exact. Yeah, it looks
Oh
exactly like that.
my.
Like here. Look, let me show you. Here you go. Look at see. It looks exactly like that. Exactly like that.
Uh,
So that's what I was. That's what I saw. That's exactly what I thought it looked like. And then the irons look pretty spot on to like the TaylorMade 790s with like the big old tungsten weight in the front. But
yep.
Corey was saying when we were on the range or when we were on the course that they look like the old Nike MBs. I looked those up and they were like the VRs. They do have the similar kind of look with like the muscle backslash cavity or muscle cavity type of look.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's similar, but what
Right.
I'm curious about is what shafts are in there, right?
Yeah, I know that someone talked about it. It definitely was not like in my opinion, like a super common shaft that's like, a true temper or uh any other one. True temper, what are
Yeah,
the other ones? KBS, something like that.
yeah,
It was another one, but yeah, that's another good one because it's like imagine just coming up to hit anything with like Tour AD shafts and like
yeah.
your
Or just
Kirkland irons.
having like some dynamic golds in there or something like
Yep.
that'd be pretty interesting.
Oh man, that'll be fun.
I,
Oh man, I
I
wish we were big YouTubers so we can just get a box and just try them out
shit, yeah,
and
that'd be
write it
cool.
off.
But what was the price point on them?
$500 for the irons, $200 for the driver, and I think 125, 130 for the 3 sets of wedges, and then probably like $125 for the putter. So you're probably looking at easily under $1,000 for that whole set,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is insane.
it is.
Um, but moving on really quick, I just want to mention one cool thing. There's not anything that you'll see with him in our video that we have that I forgot to mention earlier, but Bryson DeChambeau was at Dragonfly when we were there. It was crazy. Julio and Corey were able to actually see him while coming off the 18th because he was hitting some shots right off the 18th hole, which is right where their little white tent is, where his old coach is. And I was pitching. I was doing some chip shots onto the green before our round. And if you know Dragonfly, I was literally facing where you hit the golf cart that's going right next to the 10th hole. So if you go up that way, like you're coming from the car parking lot, basically, and you're coming up, and I'm chipping that way, and I'm looking at this golf cart, and then I hit a chip, and I'm looking, and I'm like, okay, this person. I'm like, shoes, okay, you don't see those shoes every day. They're kind of like the FootJoys, the comfy FootJoys. They don't really have any grip, but they look more like running shoes kind of things. And then I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, guy looks kind of familiar. And then the golf bag, and I'm like, it says Crushers. And I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. That's Bryson. And the whole time, I don't realize this until the end, he's been staring at me while driving up, just like watching me just stare him down, just like kind of like slowly putting it together in my head of what I'm seeing right now.
He's all, you got something to say, kid?
Pretty much. And I was like, oh, hey, Bryson. And he's like, hey.
So, hey, bud.
Like, I was just so starstruck. I was like, welcome back. Welcome home. No, I think I said welcome home. And I was like, man, I feel like a freaking idiot, man. Go, just get out of here. I feel like an idiot.
He's like, gosh, he's like, people like that I just want to be treated like a normal person.
Dude, I felt like such an idiot. And I was like, dang. And then I texted my buddy Brandon, who works with Mike Shy, who's Bryson's old coach, or his original first coach that he had over here in Central Valley. And I told him, and I was like, I really want to get a picture with him next time, because he'll know when he's going to be there, but he just doesn't know the times. And I was like, I really want to get a pic. And he goes, dude, you should just ask. He's really cool about that stuff. And I'm like, if I would have stopped him there, yes.
Yeah.
But once he got past, I'm like, once he's practicing hitting golf balls in the range, excuse me, hey, hold up. Can I get a picture real quick, please? Like,
yeah.
I feel like I might not be welcome back over that white tent anytime soon. And but it was really cool because I did not expect it. And I kept trying to call Julio. I was like, I called him like twice. So I'm like, I want to be like, dude, Bryson's here. And he's not answering. And I'm like, did he really play at 7:00? Is he really here? Where is this guy? And but you're able to see him, right? You saw him come out.
I saw him. Yeah, we saw him right there on 18, and I was just like, And of course, I'm gonna throw this in there because it's a nice compliment from Corey. But Corey's like, dude, your swing looks better than that. And I was like, no. I was like, don't even start, man. He's like,
we haven't even played the match yet, bro.
Yeah, I was like, he was like, dude, you strike the ball better than any other tour player and he's like, and I've caddied and I've played with some good ball strikers, and he's like, there's no one. I'm like, all right, Corey, like, just buy me a beer, all right? Just buy me a beer.
Hey, Bryson, I was going to do 18 holes against Teeds here for my podcast, but if you're down,
but like you want to smoke.
Are you ready for this,
smoke, buddy? Yeah, exactly. But no, I mean, dude, it was great. I mean, the first round I shot, I think playing the second round with you, I think I shot six shots better, and I only had I think I just parred out the entire course almost. I think I only had one bogey, and then I missed that eagle from like, dude, that had to have been like 6 feet.
Dude, that was nuts. We did not expect that. I did not expect that. No. And then you almost had that like 95-foot putt for birdie that if you would have pulled the pin out, that would have been epic.
You guys were standing there. I was 90 feet away.
I know. And then actually I was going to say, next time we'll probably record with everything on the ground because we are shaky, dude. Like, you watch the things and it looks like the camera's just like going like this, and then you see the ball go, the camera goes up, and you're like, oh no! Like, it's like, oh my gosh! Like, you think you're pretty, like, pretty good
still,
and you think you're really freaking still, and then you watch it and you're like, you just look at the bottom and it's just like you're on a boat, just. You're like, oh my gosh, dude. And then I'll say this: the first hole, you didn't get my drive.
What?
I had it recording. I pressed record, and then you press stop to record it again, and then that stopped it. I was watching. I was like, no, okay, no worries, okay. And then I think on the second, and then on the third hole, I didn't get my drive. I was the one who had the camera on the ground. I didn't, for whatever reason, I didn't get it, but everything else was good besides that. And I was like, oh gosh, man, if we're already like missing 2 shots in the first 3 holes, oh man, we are screwed.
This is going to be a day.
This is going to be a day. That is right. No, but I mean, besides that, we got everything else. It was a good day. a good weather day too. Not much wind, not really cold till the sun started to go down. But
Mhm.
I mean, hats off to Julio again for making the trip all the way out there. He didn't get home till 1 a.m. He left at 4 a.m. Got home at 1 a.m. and it wasn't because of him. I don't know if he wants to talk about it, but that's just something that's just
Yeah,
insane
no.
on the way home. Fortunately,
Yeah.
he had a safe drive home, and he had YouTube and Netflix, which saved him.
TikTok.
TikTok, right? Exactly.
Read it
But
all.
oh, did you catch any of the PNC? Was it the PNC Championship, the
I did.
pro-am this
I
week?
did. Yeah.
What did you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah.
I know obviously everyone's following Charlie and Tiger. That's like the main thing. Everyone's like, Charlie, Tiger, yeah, woo.
Yeah. I loved the moment with the kid. He's like 8 years old or something. Or no, he's like 14, I think, or no, 12. His mom was on the LPGA, but like he like told his mom, he's like, hey, slow down, like let's take in this moment as they're walking in on 18. I forget who it was. But he like got all emotional. The dailies looked like they did really well. It was cool to see. It was cool to see Justin and his dad playing, especially with like, I mean, we talked about it, right? He's just like, Dad, you're fired. Like, I'm not. You're not gonna. You're not. You're not gonna teach me anymore. you know. Um, so it was cool to see them, but I think really the biggest talk was obviously the first day, right? Tiger's shoes, being that they had no logo, they were potentially prototypes of new shoes that were coming
Mhm.
out, and then
Right.
his press conference that was, everyone was talking about like, well, are you leaving Nike? And he's like, I'm still wearing them. I'm still wearing them. And you could tell he was getting like annoyed. But again, dude, like it just seems weird that it's like you don't even want to wear your own signature shoe. Like Jordan never did that, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it is interesting in the sense that I remember, I know Rick Shields isn't anywhere near Tiger Woods, but like Rick Shields had a video like a year or two ago, maybe 2, 3 years ago, where he was like, I'm leaving Nike. And it's like, and then he was like, I'm not really like, I'm still going to wear Nike, but I'm going to wear what I want to wear. I'm not going to push Nike products and things like that, but I will wear it. So like
Yeah.
because I like Nike, I will wear it. But obviously, if you can make money off it, do it. But he's like that just means I can wear whatever I want now. I don't have to always wear Nike. I can wear Jordan. I can wear Adidas. Anything I want.
Hmm.
And if Tiger's out here saying, I'm the person that always reads between the lines because I worked at was it Comcast for about as short as you can without getting fired, 9 months, because I was a terrible salesman. Great customer service guy, but just could not upsell anybody because I felt bad when people would come in. I'm like, that person that would not want to be upsold. I can guarantee you. You're coming
Yeah.
in with 3 kids and you can't even speak English. I don't think she wants to know if she wants the deluxe package. Okay, I think she
You're
just
like,
wants to pay her
you're
bill
like,
and
Tres niños play video juegas. Upgrade.
Exactly. Like, and then, man, it was terrible times. But like, because of that, like, so many people would come in and they'd be like, "Oh, it says like $50 for like the best package ever," and it's like right next to it, right? And it's like, oh, they make it look like it's right, like that's what you're getting. But if you read right here, literally right below, it says for the deluxe package, not for the cheap one or whatever.
Yeah.
And if you read between the lines, what I'm getting back to is like he could still maybe wear the stuff, but he's also probably gonna be like, hey, I'm not going to promote it if they're not doing what I want. Like, I'm Tiger Woods, like you said, Jordan wears his own stuff. Jordan wants something, he gets it. I'm sure Tiger Woods does too, but there might be some tension going around in Nike where his new stuff sucks.
It does. It's the only thing
He's
that
not
improves.
comfortable. Well, no, exactly, but I mean, like because his body has changed
Oh
so
yeah, yeah,
much,
yeah, yeah,
what I mean. He
yeah,
needs something different than what he has and had in the past, and but I mean, like again, Nike's one of the top brands in the world. Like, how can they not just bend to his needs because he moves the needle? He is the golf.
yeah, yeah. You got a point. I mean, I don't know. I just going back to Rick Shields. I think it's funny that you mentioned that because, dude, do you realize this guy literally single-handedly got American Eagle to start like a golf
Is that who it
line?
is?
Yeah, yeah.
I was
Did you
wondering.
know
I've been
that?
watching his videos, but I was like, okay, I see the golden eagle, but I'm like, wait, is that is
That's
it American Eagle?
American Eagle.
Because I was like, What is that brand? I didn't want to click and search the video or
Dude, that
Google.
was the shit in seventh grade. If you weren't rocking Hollister or American Eagle, you like were you weren't anybody.
That and Abercrombie, bro. I was like the only one who's like,
Oh yeah,
screw, I don't
yeah,
care. I just don't
yeah.
care, and I don't have the money. But
I
I didn't
remember. I
realize that that's
remember when I
American
got.
Eagle.
Yeah, I remember when I got my first pink shirt. I felt like I was like the coolest dude in the world. Dead serious. I thought I was like the coolest dude in the world. I was like, dude,
Wore for
like
5 days straight, Monday through Friday.
literally, I'd sprayed down with the
The
Abercrombie
Axe body
fucking
spray,
yeah,
Abercrombie.
oh yeah, the Axe body, Axe body spray. I'd be like, all right, who's ready for some of this? They'd be like, your your cologne's a little strong.
Eyes are burning.
Yeah,
Man.
dude.
Man. Good times, man. I didn't realize that was American Eagle. Okay, that makes sense now. But I
Yeah,
mean, if there's someone to
yeah.
do it that's in the golf world besides Good, and that's a YouTuber, Rick Shields, I could definitely understand that.
Hmm.
You
I
know.
know. And oh, I didn't tell you, but I did order a Breezy shirt.
Hmm.
Just like one of like the just one of the blue ones. Very simple, pretty solid quality shirt. It's funny because I remember when Nick told us that like his shirts come from the same factory as all of theirs, and I was like,
Mm.
there is a significant difference. Like I feel like Nick shirts, the forefather shirts
Yeah.
are really they're really fitted. Like
Mm.
they're a little bit more tight up top.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe just because
100%.
I'm just because maybe it's just because I'm just a bigger dude, but like the Breezy shirt is exactly that. It feels like an older FootJoy. Like it's just open. It's
Hmm.
nice and comfortable. Like you feel relaxed. It's kind of like the shirt that I wore
The
this
Tiger Woods
last
shirt they wore.
Sunday. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what
Mm.
it feels like. But it's not
Oh,
thick. It's
wow.
just like a nice, easy, yeah, light shirt.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like majority of these new companies that are coming out, like No Laying Up, Bad Birdie, um, Birdie Bros, Birdie Boys, whatever it is, like no Bogey Boys.
Bogey Boys.
There's like all
Sunday
like
swag.
Scratch Golfer, yeah, exactly. Like all their
Yeah.
shirts are like the exact same, just different logos. That's pretty
Yeah.
much it. They're very similar, maybe different cuts, like you mentioned with Forefathers and Breezy. Uh, but yeah, I mean, you're gonna get a nice shirt nowadays. It's just, can you find a good one at a decent price point? And I was looking at some of the Bob Dush Sports Breezy shirts, dude, and I'm like, what are they? $80, $90?
Yeah. But
I'm
I got
like,
mine on Black Friday.
well, yeah,
We
of course,
just
is where you have
yeah.
like that's when you should probably get them, but
But
it's
that was what's crazy. I bought it on Black Friday, and it wasn't like an older shirt. It was, it was
one
a
of the
new
newer
shirt
ones.
that was just like 30% off, and it took until like today to get it.
What? Were they shipping
Yeah,
them from China? Jeez.
I don't know. It didn't smell like cat. I'm just
Dang. Okay. All right. All right. Well,
edit.
yeah, right. Well, I feel like it's a good spot to wrap up the podcast for today. If you made it this far, obviously we appreciate your support. Next week, as of right now, we are in line to get a PGA Tour player on the podcast. Our first one ever. Woody woo. Our first one ever. It's been a year, and with a cool little story that I'll talk about. I probably even talked about it in our podcast like a year ago or back in February when I saw him personally. But really excited about it. It's unfortunate what happened, but with what's going on with him right now physically, you'll hear about that. But we're really excited. That one should drop Thursday. We're meeting with him on Wednesday. That one should drop Thursday. Christmas videos coming out on Monday. So just you know, make sure to keep them noties on.
Yeah.
And keep checking out our Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Just definitely posting a bunch of our content, some of our clips from our round. Since the video's not up yet, I'm still just trying to like build you know, some cool thing. Some, what do you call it? Anticipation. Is that a good
Hmm.
way of saying it?
Yep.
For the video, it was a good time. good company. And yeah, I mean, anything else you want to touch on before we wrap up the pod?
I won both of my matches. I beat John and I beat Corey. So that's pretty
Spoiler. Yeah,
spoiler.
you did.
A
And
lot, a
watch
lot
how
of
it
pars.
happens.
A lot
Yeah,
of
dude.
pars. I
For
mean, I was
you,
shocked with some. I was shocked with some of the ones that I was making like outside of 8 feet. I was like,
yeah, I was like, "F you, dude." I was like, "Come on,
Dude,
bro."
Corey gave me one little tip, and it was like night and day. I just saw the line. I was like, just do your thing. And I was like, yeah,
Man, yeah, and I had some miss putts that were like a 50-50 or like that I just messed up on. But yeah, great.
yeah.
It'll be a fun video, Christmas video. And yeah, don't forget to stay fly and go low. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.